This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
July the 16th be with you on a Thursday morning. Welcome into a numbers game. That is Kelly Bidlin. I'm Dustin Sweetelson in for Gil this week. I guess that's only 2 more days. Thanks for hanging out with us however you may be listening. Sirius XM channel 158, YouTube TV, the VSiN Watch app, radio affiliates across the United States of God Bless America.
And Game Plus.
And Game Plus in Canada. The World Cup final is set, people. Spain and Argentina. No history there between those two countries going back a long way. The MLB second half is going to get underway today. We'll break that down with the Phillies and Mets. We have college football media days, the Sun Belt, the ACC, which is leading to me to potentially the first win total bet of the year. I'll run that by Kelly later on in the program. We're going to look at the NFL awards. When I dove into Offensive Player of the Year, there was some news that came out over the weekend that makes it so I can't bet one guy that's pretty high up on the leaderboard or on the odds board. Mm-hmm. However, the problem is I think I can make the case for like 5 guys I love in the Offensive Player of the Year market. We'll touch on that, but most importantly right now, Kelly Bidlin, we are underway at the British Open. How are we feeling about the start?
That we are. Great start so far to the tournament. I think a lot of what we've expected to see. We've got some low scores out there. It's a scoreable course with the very light winds, no rain. Everybody's gotten a lot of tweets of, wow, it's looking really calm for an Open Championship. Yep, we were talking about that all week, that it might play out that way. So right now, about more than halfway through the first round, you've got a 3-way tie at the top of the leaderboard. Daniel Brown, Sungjae Im, and Ryan Gerard. Ryan Gerard, the only one still out on the course. He is through 15. Actually, he just bogeyed, so move him back to 3 under, where there is a big group of guys, including Scotty Scheffler, 3 under par through 16. Bryson DeChambeau, 3 under par through 16. You've got Robert McIntyre, 3 under par in the clubhouse. The guy told Dustin not to bet yesterday.
We'll see how that goes. That's usually how it goes for me. I go, don't do that. And immediately it works out.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see live odds right now. Scotty Scheffler, that was cute getting out to 8-1 before the tournament, because Scotty Scheffler back in familiar territory at 3-1 now to win the Open Championship. Rory plus 990 hasn't teed off yet. Bryson about 12-1. I did want to bring up a couple first-round leader bets I made this morning for guys that are teeing off, either have just teed off or haven't teed off yet. All of these guys I had bets on yesterday. We talked about either in placement markets or outrights. Colin Morikawa 50-1. I believe he just teed off. He's on his first hole. Chris Goddard up 50-1 and Sam Burns 60-1. I think there are. It looks very scoreable out there to me if you hit it in the right spot. I don't think that 4 under is where this first round ends. So I think some first round leader bets can absolutely be made right now.
I equate England. Whenever I see a shot of a sporting event in England, it's like a noon kickoff in the Big Ten in the middle of October. It's usually overcast. Looks like it's the middle of the night, but it's noon.
Right,
it's lunchtime. I turned on the broadcast this morning when I woke up. Sun was out. Sky was blue. How's that impacting this course that the weather's perfect in jolly old England right now?
It's a little bit. We were all a little like, we didn't want to say, hey, this could be scoreable, this could be light, this could be easy, because every Open Championship course discussion starts with weather as the main defense, and when you're not getting that weather, it just plays very differently. And the one I'm still curious to see how more of today plays out, Dustin. We talked about it a lot the past couple days. Bryson DeChambeau being near the top of the leaderboard, I think is partially an example. I want to see how guys like Chris Goddard play. How many of these guys are willing to take driver, rip it down on a dry course, let it run out through this dry fairway or even into the rough, and then just figure it out 340 yards down the fairway or down the hole? I think that's going to be really interesting to see how much of these guys try to take that strategy.
I bet 3 outrights. 2 of my guys about to get going.
Okay,
we got Xander. We got Matt Fitzpatrick. We ride together on Fitzy. I get a bit nervous, though. You know how I am. Like, when so many people are like, Matt Fitzpatrick is a great value play this week, that scares the bejesus out of me.
Yeah, I don't even know if a great value play. I don't know if he was a great number. I actually bet into him knowing it's probably not the accurate number that should be on Matt Fitzpatrick.
Well, what I found through various sports books, one had him at around 15-1, which I bet, which is circa. I won't say the other. Another book had him 9-1. Like, respectfully, respect yourself more and just download a few more apps. Sign up for a few more. Because you can't just be giving away money. Yeah, was
it all the way down there? Yeah, you opened it like 12 to 1.
I didn't understand it at all.
Caesars, I love you. Your outright book's ridiculous sometimes.
That's crazy talk. All right. We'll keep you updated on the British Open all day long here on the program. Also, we have to talk about what went down yesterday because in case you missed it, it was maybe the best finish to a soccer match you're ever going to see. Argentina's down 1-0. England with the victory on the line. It's coming home, back to the championship for the first time since winning in 1966. And then Thomas Tuchel, the manager of the English national team, he swapped out his offense. He brought in more defense. And somehow, 3 minutes after making the move to bring in more defense and letting the game be played on his side of the pitch, Argentina ties it up. So England parks the bus. Argentina ties it up. You have to assume at some point you got to find some offensive attack. And that's what happened to England. They got the lead and they just sat back. They dared Messi to make a play when it mattered. And with a tie game 1-1, Messi made a play, but it wasn't scoring. It was setting up the header. And the winner from Fernandez, who bent it left in the corner pocket off the bench. So absolutely insane for the tying goal. The game winner at the 91-30 mark, Messi to Martinez. And it's just, Lionel Messi's always involved. In the 38 minutes, there was 38 minutes, I should say, between England's first goal and Argentina's winner. Argentina had 88% of the possession. So think about that. 88% of the possession, the team that was losing had the ball. And I understand it. Like that's the philosophy. That's the theory. That's what you do. You go, hold on, we have a lead. Now let's protect the lead and go defense. You have to keep them honest. It's like let's go to football.
It's any football. Prevent defense. How often does it get burnt?
But also on offense, you can't just run the football in the second half. You have to throw it to keep the defense honest and throw them off the scent. It was only the second time this century that a team scored first in a World Cup semifinal and failed to reach the final. England scored first, didn't make the final. The other, England versus Croatia in the 2018 semifinals. Argentina has now eliminated England in 2026, 1998, and 1986.
Man.
That's a rough run.
That is a rough run, and that is, a little bit of a rivalry for sure.
Well, let's talk about the strategy, because Thomas Tuchel, the manager of the English national team, he was asked if he had any regrets about the strategy, which ultimately led to Argentina not just coming back, but winning the thing outright.
Regrets, Thomas?
No, in the moment, no regrets. The team gave everything, and we were very, very close. I think we deserved to be up 1-0. Played one of our better matches, maybe the best match in the circumstances. Team was top. We couldn't bring it over the line. No, in the moment, no regrets.
That's a crazy statement. There's no regrets. You're being sent home. There's no regrets. You had a golden opportunity to make history. You care more about soccer than everyone else because you invented the beautiful game. I think it's embarrassing. Where's the aggression, right? Where is the offense? Where is just the respect for the game to just park the bus as early as they did and allow Argentina opportunity after opportunity? It's fireable. I mean, I don't know how he goes back and lives in England.
I think it was different for me when it was, okay, you want to do that, you want to play that way before they tie the game when you have the lead, fine. Then they tie the game up. And it was like, it's like you're not going to switch up anything. You're just going to play for extra time here and like hope to make adjustments then. Like,
here's the lesson.
A sub in soccer.
Here's the lesson we learned this week with France losing the way they did, England losing the way they did. Is if it wasn't for the United States of America, those countries wouldn't exist anymore, because this is what happens when we can't intervene in their world events. They just melt down and crumble at the first sign of trouble. I mean, a little historical perspective, because I'm obsessed with 1966. You've been waiting since 1966. And I think that has to be part of the motivating factor for England. You also have to look at it as France was knocked out. You can hang with Spain. Spain's pure defense. You've got two elite goal scorers in Kane and Bellingham. You want that matchup. The opportunity's there, and instead you just sat back and waited for it to happen. Waited for it to come to you instead of taking it. Lyndon B. Johnson was president in 1966. California Dreaming by the Mamas and Papas, that had come out in 1966. Adam Sandler, Janet Jackson, Mike Tyson, born in 1966. Thunderball was the top movie, James Bond.
Thunderball.
Sean Connery was James Bond. There have been 5 James Bonds since you last won a World Cup. You invented the sport. I thought it was offensive, the way that they approached it. It was soft, it was weak, and I don't know how they go back to the drawing board from this.
Yeah, I'll tell you, just a couple things I was a little surprised about afterward. I didn't know it was our obligation as Americans to celebrate every time England lost. I felt a little bad for my English friends. And Alex Blower sitting right here with us yesterday.
The conversation we had yesterday with him, I didn't even want to reach out and text him.
Oh, you couldn't send him a text. I hope he's not listening right now.
No, the devastation.
I hope we gave him the rest of the week off.
But here's the best part. France and England are going to play in a third-place match. We may not know soccer. We know handicapping strategy. Off of an emotional, blown lead, you do not bet that team in a meaningless game for third place. France may have thought they were winning the whole thing. France is certainly going to be more dialed in than England is going to be licking their wounds, depressed that they're not there because they had it in their hands and they let it fall through their fingertips.
You know what one of my first thoughts was after that was just, it was done, 2-1, the comeback was completed. I thought to myself, you know what? We got the Knicks won an NBA title this year.
Yeah.
What the hell else did we think was going to? We think England's going to go win a World Cup?
But
this is, what is it? We're just going to expect these things to keep happening?
But also think of it this way. Argentina was the Knicks. Argentina waited for the other team to give them their best shot in the final few minutes of the game, come back and win it. All of a sudden, you go off in a blaze of glory. I mean, that is what Argentina has been this year. The drama's been crazy. And right now, Messi to win the Golden Boot, that looks like it may be inevitable here. I mean, he's got 8, Kane's got 6, Bellingham 6. Messi gets to play in a championship game. More on that with the matchup with Spain. Spain's minus 160. Argentina plus $1.28. What should we do with the leaders in Major League Baseball, though? That's coming up on the other side of a numbers game.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race, from every track, on every screen, every day. With monthly packages starting as low as $5, RTN gives you great value and access to more live HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire. Use promo code TRYRTN for a 5-day free trial.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM Channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
Thursday on Follow the Money, we've got you covered across the sports world. Malcolm Bamford joins the program to preview the World Cup final. Julian Edlow breaks down the players, teams, and opportunities to watch at the NBA Summer League. And Paul Stone stops by the program to preview the Sun Belt in college football and shares best bets for the upcoming season. Kevin Rogers gets us ready for the second half of the Major League Baseball campaign. Join us Thursday from 4 to 7 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Welcome to Thursday. It is a numbers game. That's Kelly Bidlin. I'm Dustin Sweetelson in for Gil Alexander once again. Gil will be back on Monday, I believe.
He will. Yep.
Is he still in San Francisco? Did he go somewhere cool? Do we know?
I'm not really sure. He was asked him about that on Friday, and he hadn't decided yet. There was a good chance they were just hanging in San Francisco.
That sounds horrible.
I mean, like a week off on the couch, man. I think that's what
you know what? I respect it. You know what? I do respect it. I would love for a week off on the couch. I would fire up the PlayStation,
especially after Wimbledon for him.
I would probably be about, by the time the vacation ended, if I had my own like choice in this, I'd probably be about 10 years deep into a dynasty mode in college football.
That's right. There you go,
if I like, that's left to my own volition here. Now, we left off the conversation last segment with the World Cup. As we're sitting right now, the final match has Spain minus 160, Argentina plus 125. I mean, I'm very much considering Argentina plus 125. But the fascinating bets right now is what's going to happen with the top goal scorer in the Golden Boot, because you've got Mbappe and Messi both tied with 8. They're atop the leaderboard right now. And you look at after them, it's Kane and Bellingham. I don't know what kind of motivation you're going to get from England when they take on France in this consolation game, which you and I were talking about as Americans. A game that doesn't matter, where these guys could potentially get hurt. It is offenses to the senses.
It really is. I can't understand it. I've even heard from soccer, bigger soccer guys of, hey, be careful with these games. You don't know for sure how much these guys are going to play. I'm actually shocked to see Mbappe's minus 125.
I didn't understand it. I feel like Messi feels like he should be the favorite, because how much are you getting from Mbappe unless he's going straight up, I want this award. I want to win the Golden Boot.
Right.
Because Messi is in the mix in all of these goals. Also, what happens if they tie at 8, if neither of them score?
Tiebreakers assists, I believe.
Okay.
Which I think, didn't Messi have 2 yesterday?
Messi has 4 assists now.
Yeah. So, you know what? Honestly, Dustin, I didn't think I was going to have a bet here for the remainder of the World Cup.
Mbappe has 3. What if Mbappe has an assist and no goal, and neither of them score, and they both have 8 goals and 4 assists?
I don't know what the next tiebreaker is.
I guess it's a pair of Golden Boots. Probably maybe the team who wins? That would probably be
I bet you there's another tiebreaker. We'll figure it out.
Speaking of which, I saw a weird market up last night. We'll get back to the soccer in just a minute. Caesars has the Dodgers to win this World Series and next World Series. It's 8-1.
Dude.
What if there's no World Series next year?
I've been thinking a lot about these markets recently. It was the was it before the pandemic? Westgate put up the Brooks Koepka, like how many majors he'd win in the rest of his career, and I'm like, I don't know how you book these things.
I don't think they're planning on it.
I think it's gone now, and that one, it's a great question. I don't know.
Like, if I bet it's 8-1, and there's no World Series next year because I believe it says 2026 and 2027. If there's no World Series next year, does that become a 4-1 bet? Technically, which is more than you can get on the Dodgers right now. That's my point.
I doubt it. Just trying to look at the DraftKings has had these up pretty regularly in NBA too, for like 2 odds to win the it was all like Thunder based right during the season, but it was like odds to win the next 2 NBA finals. And I had the same thoughts. I was like, what? Like, how could you bet this right now? You have no idea what's going to happen.
A couple random notes from the World Cup that just jumped out to me.
I think I'm betting Messi.
I think I'm betting Argentina plus 125.
I don't think I'm doing anything with either of those games. The championship game, look, these are 2 teams here now that I was not expecting at all, so I'm way off. I think my World Cup is mainly done. It was great betting. The futures were awesome. Shout out to our awesome guests, Paul Carr, Chris Felica, Drew Dinzik, Dallin Cuff. These guys joined us. They did an awesome job with the World Cup. I think I'm about done, because then the 3rd place game, like we just kind of hit on, my mind cannot even grasp.
No. I don't know. Like, but if once I see the number, I will not be betting England. That's all I know. I will be betting France, which is so ironic to be betting France against England, just because, like, historical perspective, all the ties together, the wars. I come back to that. I think of every team as their whatever you were during World War II. That's who you are forever in my mind.
That's who you are forever. The one pro Mbappe point I did hear yesterday is with the one thing to keep in mind, and this checks out. I think this makes sense to our American brains, of the 3rd place game. Defense isn't exactly at the highest level.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Which that makes sense, right? But you think more of like an NBA All-Star game, like who's really trying for a third place game.
And they're also going to let a lot of the backups get in so they get World Cup experience. But back to Spain, Argentina. The thing that fascinates me about this is Spain wants to play defense. They want to score on counters. They don't have athleticism. Argentina, they have a 39-year-old Messi trying to go out with back-to-back World Cups in a blaze of glory. He's already, around the world, an international Mount Rushmore athlete. If he wins another World Cup and if he scores in a World Cup final, I mean, we're talking like greatest athletes of all time, regardless of sport.
Also, like, he plays in the United States of America.
He does.
Like,
he's one of ours now.
like I know.
And we didn't have to pay a tariff for him.
I know there's a lot of reasons, age being the biggest one, of why he's not.
No, but he can still play.
Else.
He can play somewhere overseas, just maybe not where he wants to.
Right, exactly. No, you are right, but it is just wild that we are still talking about this guy playing at this level, and he plays for an MLS team.
There have only been 3 teams to allow 2 total goals and win the World Cup. Spain's allowed 1 goal, right? Spain in 2010, Italy in 06, France in 98.
That's incredible.
They would be the fourth. And then, to me, the biggest winner of the World Cup, still Cape Verde. Cape Verde drew with Spain, and Argentina needed extra time to beat them. There's 500,000 people in Cape Verde. It's a country none of us knew existed. It was owned by Portugal for a long time until recently, and they literally took both of these teams that made it to the final to the brink.
It was incredible. They a lot of great storylines, right? I mean, the Norway just bursting onto the scene and the fan base. I thought that was incredible. An amazing World Cup. Probably the television rights holders are probably the big winners overall.
Well, yeah. Do you know who the biggest loser is for the World Cup?
Who?
Major League Baseball. Because this is normally a time where, especially around these parts, we go, we're focusing on baseball. We're talking baseball. This is baseball's time to shine, to have a little bit of momentum and a run before we start caring about football with training camp. Because as a kid, even this was my saying. All I asked for the New York Mets, knowing my expectations were low, all I ask from you is get me to Giants training camp. You get me to Giants training camp, and you're relevant, it's a successful season.
God, what a Mets fan.
But that also means like these 4 to 5 weeks in between like NBA ending and hockey ending into baseball's been buried by the World Cup. With that, let's look ahead to the second half of the baseball season. It gets underway today with the Mets and the Phillies. But before we look at that actual specific matchup, some futures that might be worth dabbling with. Home run leader fascinates me. Home run leader is a fun bet. Now, as long as Kyle Schwarber is breathing air on God's green earth, he is going to be the favorite to win this thing, even at this point in his career. He has 32 home runs on the season. And look, do I want to fade Kyle Schwarber? No. But do I want to lay $1.30 where one trip to the injured list for 10 days could hurt his momentum? Someone could overtake him. Now he's coming from behind. We wouldn't know the health going forward. At this point of the game, if you're going to bet someone other than the favorite to lead the league in one of these categories, you are hoping that they get injured and that someone else capitalized on the opportunity. That is it. Because we're more than halfway through the season. Schwarber may only have a 1 home run lead on Alvarez. I trust Schwarber to be consistent with the long ball more than Alvarez, just because Alvarez never stays healthy.
Yeah, this is you're going to have to sell me on someone here down the board if you were really going to bet this. Because I'm with you. Schwarber, I don't know, with a 1 home run lead and still this much time to go. I don't know how you lay 130 with him. Love what you just said about Alvarez versus Schwarber, because I think the same thing. I would need a longer price on Alvarez if I'm really going to get in a matchup bet basically down the stretch, Schwarber versus Alvarez. But then the problem is, okay, those two guys at the top, 2 home run lead over the rest of the field or more. Who from this group is going to go catch those guys? Pass them.
So that is the dilemma you find yourself in. Look, if you want to lay $1.30 with Schwarber, I'm not going to fight you on it. I don't want to tie up my money laying a price. That's all I'm saying. Yordan Alvarez, sure. You want to go do that? You might as well just lay the number for MVP. That feels. If you believe Alvarez can lead the majors in home runs, you might as well bet MVP, where the competition isn't all that stiff in the American League with Aaron Judge gone. Now, Ben Rice is third. He has 29. I haven't loved the numbers without Judge, but he did go on a little bit of a run right before the All-Star break, and he's got the short porch in right field. I get it, but I'm not trusting Ben Rice to lead the majors. We're talking, you got to be in the 50s. You got to be potentially in the 60s if you're going to catch Kyle Schwarber. To me, it's James Wood. I'm a big proponent of young players get better as they get experience, as the game slows down. And your fear with Washington is that, other teams are going to pitch around James Wood. Well, they bat him leadoff. He has 10 leadoff home runs this year. That certainly makes the job a lot easier when you homer in the first at bat of the game for your team. He has 28. He's 4 off the pace. Why can't a young guy, and he had a horrible second half. I should note that last year. I think he only had 4 home runs in the second half last year. But learning from his mistakes, ready for what's in front of him, another full season. If I'm betting anyone, it's the upside play 13-1 on James Wood.
Yeah, I guess the only one that kind of intrigued me was like, do I go all the way down to Shohei and take a 30-1?
He's 10 back.
It's 10 back, man. Yeah.
Hey, 20 leagues, 1 mission. That's Just Win Bets, baby. They're your premier source for daily sports betting picks. They break down the data so you can bet with confidence across the entire sports calendar. Scan the QR code or visit justwinbetsbaby.com today and start betting smarter with Just Win Bets, baby. The name says it all. 2 teams going different directions play tonight, the Phillies and the Mets. How good is Philadelphia? We'll break it down next on a numbers game.
Biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
They're still talking about it.
I think it's time to put the rumors to rest.
Showtime.
$30 million.
$30 million?
$30 million? $30 million?
That's $30 million guaranteed. 3 contests, multiple ways to win, no rate. Entry starting at $1,000. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup, then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to vsin.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network. A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Yes, indeedy. Dustin Sweetelson in for Gil Alexander on a numbers game. Thanks for hanging out with us. Sirius XM Channel 158, YouTube TV, the VSiN Watch app, radio affiliates across the United States of God Bless America. That is Kelly Bidlin. Got to do it.
Yeah.
New Age Outlaws.
I like it.
Well, normally I'd have to get down and like squat and do it, but we're at the desk where, I mean, we're almost squatting.
Yeah, we are. We really are.
People.
You don't realize how low the ground's like right here.
Well, that's why when Paulie Howard does Follow the Money, he's sitting like this.
Yeah. But he's got that back, man.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna just put it out there. We need a chiropractor sponsor for Paulie. Someone to just come in and adjust him like on the studio
really
desk
do.
on the air.
Yeah, during breaks.
Yeah. Just and you can use it as promotional tool. So
yeah, we can live stream it somewhere. Hey, put it on their website.
Dude, when I talk about videos I watch that soothe me, there's a few weird ones. Like I watched this one guy who shaves the hooves of cows.
What?
It's so satisfying. It's crazy.
Why?
But the gateway videos to me was chiropractors.
Whoa. Why with the cow hooves? Because are they cleaning them? Like
they clean them. They trim them down so the cow can walk better. But like it's like you're trimming a nail. I also like ingrown tonenail repair videos.
It sounds like just like nails down a chalkboard.
No, it's not. It's like they use a metal tool. It's not like our nails. It's so different. But quite a way to make our guest wait here.
Yeah, wow.
All right. Well, he is the great Joe Sheehan. The Joe Sheehan baseball newsletter is available at joesheehan.com, on X at Joe Sheehan. Joe_Sheehan is where you can find him. And been a big fan of his work for a long time. And he's going to help us preview the second half of the Major League Baseball season as Joe joins us now via the Progressive guest line. And I got to tell you, my friend, I like where your head's at with a lot of these futures that you sent our way. First off, I want to begin with Boston. The Red Sox on a surge in a wide open American League, right on the cusp of a wild card spot right now. They could have been worse to start the year. They get rid of Alex Cora. Somehow Chad Tracy is just pulling all the right strings here with the Boston Red Sox. How do you want to attack this success and it being sustainable for the Red Sox going forward?
Dustin, I'm sorry. I'm still shook by the hooves thing.
Right?
I've probably done 5,000 guest spots in my life, and I've never been brought in that way. I'm a little bit kind of shell shocked here.
I'm gonna have to watch it during the next break, Joe. I'm like, no, what? I'm so confused,
dude. It's so satisfying to watch them do it. Sometimes they have like an abscess and it pops, and they got to clean it all up. Like, geez. Dude, it's like one of my favorite things to watch.
I'm sorry,
Kelly.
Joe.
When is Gil back?
Yeah, Monday. He's back on Monday. The next time you're on, it will be with him.
Trust me, my Twitter mentions everyone's asking that. Trust me.
Listen, you bring up the Red Sox, and I was on, I want to say maybe 6 weeks ago, and I gave them out at maybe plus 200 to make the playoffs and plus 1,000 to win the East. And, those are still live. Now, remember, Chad Tracy came in, and they actually didn't play that well under him. They started out 13-14 under him. But this recent stretch, weak schedule induced to be sure, but they're 46-48 now. If the season ended today, they'd basically be in a virtual tie for a playoff spot. I do think they'll get to the playoffs. Now, over in the NL, you've got Don Mattingly, who took over for the Phillies, and they've had, basically the best record in the American League. Well, Chad Tracy, managing the Red Sox now, 36-31. There's a pretty good chance they make the playoffs, some chance that they win the division. And I think you've got a similar scenario here. Mattingly's minus 350 to win the NL Manager of the Year, but Tracy's 28-1. So basically, I want to take him at that inflated number because if the Red Sox make the playoffs, I think he's going to end up moving ahead of whether it's Kevin Cash, whether it's ahead of whoever wins, if Max Venable, if that team wins the second. Tracy's story, taking over for Cora for a team that was collapsing, ends up winning the award. So 28-1, I love that line.
Yeah. Joe, I think you might have just talked me into one, too. Assuming that's available somewhere here in Nevada.
Yeah,
which I don't know
the process makes sense.
Right now, I'm looking at it.
The process makes sense. If you're going to bet someone here, to me, it's the American League. I mean, anyone can make a surge in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next one up here. You're speaking to my sensibilities because I got to tell you, I've looked really stupid so far this season, Joe. The Atlanta Braves, I'm on the win total under. And at first, it looked dead in the water. I don't think it's going to get there in the end, but Atlanta's struggling, and some of the concerns I had of why I bet the under is the health of the starting pitching, and they're so reliant right now on Chris Sale to stay healthy, because if he falls apart, who knows what it looks like the rest of the way. Atlanta not playing their best baseball. They've missed Ronald Acuna. How do you want to attack them in the futures market?
Yeah, you're seeing the Braves at the end of a cycle here where, they've got all of these young players they brought up. They put on big contracts, long-term contracts. Well, now that payroll is really up, they don't have a lot of flexibility. They've also been so successful that they've traded a lot of prospects and they've been drafting very low. That combination has led to them not having a lot of depth. You mentioned the starting pitching. They got some work out of Martin Perez and Bryce Elder this year, but these are not guys you expect to rely on long term. Same thing with the offense. Jorge Mateo, Dominic Smith, these guys got off to good starts for them, but they've been terrible. The Braves have the worst offense in baseball over the last 30 days, and I think that's going to continue. Now, could I see them still making the playoffs? Yes, they could. But right now, they're 10% at Fangraphs to miss the playoffs. They're 9-1 to miss the playoffs in the market. And while that's not a lot of value, I think they're going to fall apart here. The NL isn't the AL. There are a lot of contenders in the NL chasing those spots. There are 4 or 5 teams at or above 500. The Braves have a 5-game lead over the last spot, maybe 6.5, I want to say, over the Diamondbacks for the number 7 spot. And I can see their collapse continuing here and having them fall out of the playoffs. They just don't have the depth to get through the season.
Joe, with no Aaron Judge, we've been having a lot of AL MVP discussion and the new top of the board and how that's been shifting around. You've got someone you've got your eyes on, though, way further down the board, 100-1.
Well, 101 just doesn't make sense to me for a guy who's in the top 3 in the American League in WAR. If you use Baseball Reference WAR, Kevin McGonigal is right behind Bobby Witt Jr. If you use Fangraphs WAR, he's 3rd behind Witt and Alvarez. Now, I know Gil's been talking up Alvarez, and there's a Triple Crown chance there. So there are a lot of narrative points here. But you have a situation where the Tigers are chasing 2 teams that aren't very good in the Guardians and White Sox. They've played well enough that they're highly unlikely to trade Tarek Skubal. And in fact, they're probably going to be buyers at the deadline. So they have a chance here to steal this division. And you'll have a situation where a player who's top 3, top 4 in WAR is going to be the best player on one of the best stories in the league that wins the division. I don't know if 50-1, 30-1 is the right number, but in an era where WAR tends to equate to the award voting, McGonigal, 2nd in the league in WAR at 100-1, just doesn't make any sense. I think this is great value.
Yeah, and he's a big reason. If you want to talk about narrative, he's a big reason why this Detroit offense has picked up the way that it has. We've been so used to the Tigers being so pitching dependent, so Skubal dependent. Well, we have to remind people, they went on this run and became relevant back in this division because the offense was off the charts since around the middle end of May, and that's why they've been rolling. If Skubal comes back and finds his form, that's just a cherry on top. Joe Sheehan is our guest. The Joe Sheehan Baseball Newsletter, available, joesheehan.com, at Joe_Sheehan. You can find him on X. I'm glad you went with the Tigers there, too, because that's a team that I bet to win the division at 7-1 a few weeks ago. I've added them to win the American League, the World Series, all that at bigger numbers. But I've been looking for someone to pair with the Phillies, Joe, because for some reason, I think Philadelphia is built for the postseason with the way that Wheeler looks like he's in his old form. We yesterday had a project on the show looking for an AL team to pair with the Phillies to meet in the World Series. We got it up in a little parlay there at about 199-1. If you're going to choose someone in the American League that you think is a good value play right now, does anyone jump out to you?
Probably the Mariners. And I know that's pretty far up the list to be, to fit the long shot theme today, but they're shaped a little bit like the Phillies. You go into a playoff series with that top 3 of Gilbert, Wu, and Kirby. We've got depth behind that as well, of course. Possibility they're going to call up 2 of the best pitching prospects in baseball in Cade Anderson and Ryan Sloan to fill out the bullpen. The Phillies, of course, have that great top 3 as well, with some questions about the offense. The infield's not very good. These are 2 teams that, because they have prospect depth as well, I think they're going to be active at the trade deadline. Dave Dombrowski and Jerry DiPoto never need to be prodded to make trades. So I think these teams are going to get better after August 3rd as well. But I think if I'm picking one of these AL teams right now, and it matches what I picked in the postseason, so I can be a little stubborn about that.
Yeah.
But I think this Mariners team, because they haven't played well recently, has picked up a lot of value in the AL market.
Yeah, I've got a little Seattle from before the season started to win the World Series. I still believe their pitching shows up. My concern is always, Joe, it's like, when Bryce Miller goes off, Logan Gilbert takes a step back. When Brian Wu goes off, someone else. I need them all on the same page. I need the offense to show up. Really enjoyed the conversation. I love the Chad Tracy play. AL Manager of the Year 28-1. That is a fantastic number. He's Joe Sheehan. You want more nuggets like that? Subscribe to the Joe Sheehan Baseball newsletter. All the info, joesheehan.com. On X, at Joe_Sheehan. Thanks so much, Joe. We'll talk next time.
Thanks, fellas.
Thanks, Joe.
Awesome stuff from Joe. I'm a big fan. He's been doing this a long time.
Oh yeah,
and the angles are just tremendous.
One of the greatest. Just sign up for the newsletter. You get it every day, or no, I shouldn't say every day. I think he writes like 3 times a week, something like that. In your inbox, catch up on everything. If you're someone like me, it keeps you very informed.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You outsource it to people who are smarter than you.
Exactly.
We're very good at that. Finding people smarter than us and then just leeching off of their information. Okay, when we return, it's been confirmed. I'm not crazy. Other people share the same brain as I, which I don't know if that should terrify the world or make me feel better. Either way, I'll explain why next on A Numbers Game.
You make me go loco, baby, yeah, that shit makes me crazy, yeah, that shit makes me crazy. You make me go loco, loco. You make me go loco, baby, yeah, that shit makes me crazy, yeah, that shit makes me crazy, yeah, that shit makes me crazy. You make me go loco, baby, yeah, that shit makes me crazy, yeah, that shit makes me crazy. You make me go loco, loco. You make me go loco, baby, yeah, that shit makes me.
The party never stops at Stadium Swim.
You make me go loco, loco.
Your favorite VSiN shows and personalities are now available to download as podcasts. Catch every hour of our live broadcast with VSiN Best Bets, or find your go-to show and download it directly. Get instant reactions to last night's games, sharp analysis on today's biggest matchups, and everything in between. Whether you're commuting, working out, or just catching up, VSiN lets you take the action with you wherever and whenever you want. Search VSiN on your favorite podcast platform and get in on the action with VSiN, the sports betting network.
Numbers Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Back on a numbers game, Justin Sweetelson filling in for Gil Alexander for the next couple days here on the program. That's Kelly Bidlin here all day long. I guess the next 2.5 hours, I should say.
Dude, I was here long yesterday. It was halftime. I left at halftime of the soccer game.
Why?
I don't know. You and I had a meeting. I had a guest spot on Money Moves, and I was getting some work done. The problem is the game started. Then it was trapped. It was do I rush home? I should have rushed home.
You're in no man's land.
I was in no man's land.
It's like doing this schedule. I'm finding out you're in no man's land. You're I don't know how to explain this. You still can have a life after the show, but you still have to wake up so early for this show.
You can't do anything at night.
That you are somewhat constricted.
Yeah, we're on a school schedule.
Because for those that don't know, when I first came here, I was producing Follow the Money when it was on in the morning. So we were on the air 4 to 7 a.m. We were on the air when you were waking up.
Right.
And I used to go,
that's just a different life.
I used to go, Gil and Kelly don't get it. They think they're tired. They have no idea what I deal with. No, your schedule is kind of rough too. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, no, it's a different life though. I mean, I did that show during the, right during the pandemic, right? And it was like when you're waking up at 12:30 at night, it's just you're opposite hours.
Before I've developed my routine, I was getting here at midnight, 12:30 at night. That was bonkers
right,
crazy.
Exactly. That's what I was doing during the pandemic. We'd walk into the South Point. There wouldn't be anybody at the South Point but us and security. Nobody has any idea. If you knew what Vegas was like during the pandemic, with I know you do, but people at home.
Well, I came late.
Walking into the South Point every day at 1 a.m. Nobody's there except for security. And they've got maids cleaning, right? Every single slot machine and light in the place is on because clearly nobody in Vegas ever thought, what if we just need to turn off portions of the casino? No, either it's all on and open or everything's done.
What a waste of an electric bill. You're not even going to get the people coming in to pay the bill.
Right, exactly, man.
Just that little thing going on there. Hey, we get tweets. At Dustin Sweetelson, at Kelly Bidlin, at VSiN Live. Vindicated. I am selfish. I am wrong. I am right. I swear I'm right. I swear I knew it all along. That is Dashboard Confessionals. The song is Vindicated. Why? Got a great tweet from a very smart person. His name is Jonathan Doe. Dustin, fret not, for I watch these same hoof trimming videos. You're right. They're so soothing and fun to watch. The end result, these cows are truly suffering. It's so satisfying to watch them walk away without pain. And just to confirm, this is a video that I watched. This is it. They shave it down. They get deep into the crevices. I guess you got to get a good V shape, kind of like
the crevices creep me out the most.
Kind of like my body. I'm trying to get it into a V shape, like Kelly Bidlin. Here, they're zooming in on
we'll edit up this video and play it. Look
how they're ripping off pieces of the hoof. It is so freaking satisfying. I can feel it in my loins. Dude.
So, are you one of those people? Is this what's it? Dr. Pimple Popper or whatever? Do you like that stuff?
It's okay. It's okay. It's a little too mainstream for me.
It's too mainstream.
It's
not graphic enough for you.
No, because I think that the people who do it on TV shows, they're doing it for that effect. That doesn't quite do it for me. Something about the hoof shaving. It's the texture.
Yeah, that's the worst part for me. This is where we're on complete opposite sides.
It's the texture is just so satisfying. I'm just I could just sit there all day.
I'd rather watch human surgery with blood. That. I don't know. It's that texture thing. It's nails down the chalkboard. It's grinding to me. I don't like.
See, I live in the worst era for myself because if I have I had knee surgery, I watched about 100 videos of people doing my knee surgery. If I have to have a dental procedure done, I had to have a root canal a year ago. I watched 50 videos of how a root canal works. Even though I've had them before, I'm let me see what I'm going to be going through. Just a reminder. I was oh yeah, this is going to stink. This is going to be awful.
And now you got AI to be even more helpful.
Well, you don't even know what you're watching's real.
No, I was talking more of hey, you could just ask AI everything you need to know.
I do.
Your doctor doesn't have time for you? Fine, just ask Claude.
Which is horrible.
It's terrible.
But it's helpful at the same time.
But guess what? It's way better than what we used to do with WebMD or Wikipedia and this stuff 10 years ago.
Well, WebMD, it's the same result. You're dying.
Yeah.
Every result is you're dying.
Oh my God, I have the worst disease ever.
All right, Indiana Jet with the tweet of the day. I don't know how anyone tops this.
Yep.
Got to root for France. If not for the French, we'd still be speaking English. It's true.
Bravo.
French came in. Revolutionary War hooked us up. B-Man writes in, next tiebreaker for the Golden Boot after assists is fewest minutes played by player.
Are you serious?
He said, I had no idea. Kind of like it, and it swings to Mbappe. That would make sense if Mbappe doesn't play the full game and ends up leading. That is why he's favored at minus $1.25 in that market.
Do you like that? It's a creative tiebreaker. I don't hate it.
It's about efficiency.
Who's the most efficient?
But then France has to weigh, do they want Mbappe to win that award, or do they want to win the game?
But also, it's efficient, but it's also like counterintuitive a little bit, right? Of like the golden boot, the guy who's out there the most shooting. Like I almost feel like it should just be shots.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I want to recycle a joke for you because it's the last time I'm going to say Mbappe on the show.
Mbappe.
Well, I think of Mbop Hansen.
Yep.
And I told Stormy, she didn't get the reference about how creepy this is. I was like, I had a crush on the youngest Hansen until I found out it was a boy.
Do you remember that? Yeah, I remember that video, man. Yeah, I hear it.
Like, if I was a baseball closer, I think that might be my entrance song because it would just throw everybody off in the building.
I like that.
All right, we get more tweets at Dustin Sweetelson, at Kelly Bidlin, at VSiN Live, which you can find us on the old social media. All right, we were talking about NFL awards. And over the weekend, I saw this report for Offensive Player of the Year, and I was like, you know what? I think because of that, this guy is not bettable. And I'm talking about Jonathan Taylor of the Indianapolis Colts. So DeAndre Smith, he is the running back coach for Indianapolis. He said, quote, definitely need to find ways to take some of that workload off for Jonathan Taylor. If I can find another guy or two that can take some of those carries off, he's going to be that much better. So what he's saying, kind of what we're talking about with soccer, he wants him to be more efficient, but he doesn't want him to have to carry the load offensively because if they're going to win anything, they're going to need him to be a superstar like he was a year ago. Now, I had him 27-1 last year for Offensive Player of the Year. I think he got up to minus $6 a few weeks later in the season, and ultimately, we don't win that thing.
Yep.
We do not cash.
Yep.
Congratulations on getting a great number. It ends up being a fool's errand. So because of that, Jonathan Taylor is not a guy that I'm going to be betting for Offensive Player of the Year. I identified 3 guys for this award that jumped out to me. One at the top, one in the middle, and one who's long. When you're thinking Offensive Player of the Year, where are you looking first?
Oh, man, I think so many of these awards are tough. And look, top of the board, Jahmyr Gibbs, 7-1, Bijan Robinson, plus 850, Jamar Chase, plus 950, Puka Nacua, 11-1, McCaffrey, 12-1, Jefferson, 14. It is a very, very, very strong top of the board where I think likely one of those guys wins it. I don't have a bet. There is someone further down that's not pictured that I'm a little interested in.
Ooh.
I'm going to go for a bomb one. This is a guy who got only negative attention basically all of last season, switches teams. A.J. Brown, 40-1. And you and I are going to talk about the Eagles in the NFC East a little later in the show. A.J. Brown is a very, very good number 1 wide receiver who is now going to a team with a quarterback that a lot of people believe has very high upside and ability to stretch the field with a big-time arm. And he will be the clear-cut number 1 there. 40-1, if I was going to play anything, it would be if I'm playing anything on these award markets right now on July 16th, it's much further down the board. Otherwise, I'd rather get in live a couple weeks into the season, kind of like you did with Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
But that right now, top of board looks very tough to beat. I would want to look further down. Really, that was the only one that I came to the conclusion I thought had much value.
I've got one at 120-1, similar vein as that I'll share later. I have one at 71 that would be a historical win for the position. There's another guy at 22-1, but let's go to the top of the board. I think Bijan Robinson, if you're going to go short here, you go Bijan 8.5-1. If you look at the entire situation here, it is correct that he is right up there with Jahmyr Gibbs. Kevin Stefanski really has never had a player like this, at least not in a long time. He had Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt together in 2020. Chubb, 1,067 yards, 12 touchdowns. Hunt had 841, 11 total touchdowns. Chubb in 2021 had almost 1,300 yards. In 2022 had 1,500 yards and 13 touchdowns. Last few years, though, in Cleveland, Stefanski didn't have a run game. But think about the production he got from Nick Chubb. Bijan is totally different. Bijan is a pass catcher, and there's no more Tyler Algier waiting in the wings to vulture these stats in these big situations for Bijan Robinson. In order to win this award, though, you need Bijan Robinson, or Bijan, as I should say. He needs to be like Saquon in 2024. 2,000 rush yards, 278 receiving yards, 15 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey, the blueprint as well, 2023. Almost 1,500 rush yards, 500-plus receiving yards, 21 total touchdowns. Well, Bijan last year, 1,478 rush yards. He had 820 receiving yards, 11 touchdowns, more rush yards than CMC, almost 3 times the receiving yards that Saquon had. You factor in quarterback play. Tua may be starting week 1. He can't push the ball downfield. He loved throwing to Devon Achane.
Oh, yeah.
I think all of this results in Bijan having a monster receiving year with the usual 1,400, 1,500 yards, maybe 16 on the ground without Tyler Algier there. Who knows, maybe even more. They need to rely on the run game in this transition to Stefanski and his offense. That's why Bijan Robinson is 8.5 to 1. And I normally wouldn't say this at the top of the board. It's worth a bet.
Okay. I can't argue it, man. There's a lot of talent up there.
There's another running back a little bit deeper. There's a couple receivers that are super long that I like. We'll do that later on in the program. But when we return, NBA Summer.